Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. So, first off, I gotta just start where I'm at. So yesterday, I went and worked on Bruce's land again, and the day went by pretty quick. Even though we worked just about a full, yeah, it was an 8-hour day. I might took little breaks here to have snacks and shit like that, but got there a little bit after 7:30 and left a little bit after 3:30. Strange though. Okay, so like there's a few things that happened yesterday too. Like the story just continues to get more interesting. First of all, he's one of the few people whom I've met, and he told me I was like the only person that he's met. I don't know if he said only person, but he said most people think he's crazy if he tells them what he just told me, which was the fact that I guess he grew up in Montana, and he didn't really fit in Montana. Like, he didn't have any friends. He was an outcast. He actually grew up, or as he was growing up in Montana, he chose to learn two different classical musical instruments. Excuse me, the clarinet, and I'm gonna try to remember this. It's like a bonzui. It's some type of a wind instrument with like two different areas for the musical vibration to go out and make noises. But I guess it's extremely rare, so rare that he was the only one who played that instrument in his particular school. So because of that though, he was able to be on the all-state band, like because he was the only person playing that instrument. They had a spot for him on the all-state, you know, the best of the whole states. He got to perform in that you know, conglomeration. Sorry, my words are a little messed up. But so anyways, so I learned about that. Then he also told me how when he was in Montana, he didn't have any friends, and he actually befriended a cow, and this cow used to walk up to him and actually just on its own accord, completely on its own accord, get down on its hind legs and allow Bruce to get on top of the cow and to ride him around and stuff like this. And he was completely serious about this. And that's when I shared with him, like, oh, yeah, sometimes I feel like I talk to squirrels and birds, man. And, you know, then he also told me how he's a vegetarian. He has been since he was in college, and he's in his, I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's got to be in his, at least in his 60s by now, if not older. So anyways, you know, this is all going on while we're still getting stuff done and working and everything. And slowly but surely throughout the day, I started to feel really tired. Like at first I thought it was heat exhaustion, but it wasn't very hot out. Now I have a pretty good heat, you know, I'm pretty tolerant to the heat growing up in Arizona, and just I've spent a lot of time outdoors, so the heat doesn't really bother me very much. But I started to get really fucking tired, like to where I was like feeling kind of like drunk almost. And yeah, I mean, I got my herbs and stuff, but I wasn't taking anything abnormally heavy or anything like that. So I don't think it was that. I was eating plenty of food. I was drinking plenty of water. I had juices. I even brought some caffeine drinks, which if I hadn't had those, I mean, that's what kind of leveled me out, was the fact that I had these, they were caffeine drinks with vitamins and minerals in it. They're little Celsius drinks. Even though I don't like the way that they can irritate my stomach sometimes, they're extremely helpful, because a lot of times when you're out there doing a bunch of physical stuff, you lose a lot of electrolytes. So it's good to have drinks that help replenish your electrolytes. And then also it's got a little bit of a caffeine buzz, so it, you know, when it wakes you up and stuff too. But I started to get really fucking tired, dude. And you know, and he started to notice too, because he was walking around like looking fine and dandy and everything was good. Now I was doing all the hard stuff. He was just like doing little stuff around the house and like checking on me every now and then. But mind you, he's got a bad heart, and I'm the one, you know, the supposable healthy one who's fucking feeling like he's about to fall over and shit. So anyways, that's going on. Now, something that he would do that was very odd is like, and I'm pretty sure he watches my YouTube channel, even though he didn't say anything about it, even though he told me he also doesn't do any social media himself, because he would just like, there's things he said, like he actually he invited me to work on his, he's still building his house, and he was like, dude, how's your carpentry skills? And I was like, oh, you know, I mean, I put a few tables together and stuff like that, but I've never done anything. I've never been paid to do any type of serious carpentry, which is the truth. You know, I wouldn't consider myself at all a carpenter or even an amateur or anything like that. But I have put a few things together in my own way, whether they're considered professional grade or really like certified as good enough to go grade? I don't know, but I enjoy doing it. But I've never really been paid to do it. I've cleaned up on construction sites and, you know, carpentry sites before, but I've never been hired as somebody to actually build for somebody else. So, but then he heard about that and he's like, oh, okay. And he's watching me do things and he's like, how's your ladder skills? And I'm like, you know, I'm okay with heights. Like I used to, you know, grow up climbing trees in Phoenix, Arizona. So I don't mind heights and I got a decent balance. I used to be a skateboarder. He also invited me, he's got a motorboat there, a pretty nice motorboat. And he invited me to go out on the river with his son who lives in Hillsboro, which is another suburb of Portland. And to go out in the water with him someday and learn how to do some wakeboarding. I told him I've never done wakeboarding, but I tried, but I never actually got up. However, I was able to do the double skis at a time, and he actually said that the double skis are harder than the wakeboarding, so I should be all right with the wakeboarding, especially since I used to be a skateboarder. I mean, I still have a skateboard. I can still skate, but I don't do it all the time anymore. Sorry. Anyways. So, but yeah, man, I continued to get tighter and tighter and tighter as the day progressed, to the point to where when I got home, like even just walking up and down the stairs was like challenging. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't know at first, and then I thought I was I also kind of had like a little bit of breathing issues. So I don't know if it was panic attacks, because I know that's one of the symptoms of panic attacks is that you can have trouble breathing. So I didn't know if it was that. I don't know what the hell is going on, to be honest with you. Part of me thinks that it's a little bit of spell work, because again, he would do these weird things where he would get really close to me. Like he'd be standing within like maybe like 8 or 6 inches of me and like say some things. It was in a joking manner, but he would get really up and close to my energy. And sometimes he would just stand really close to me, like inside of my bubble. And I feel like he kind of did it intentionally, but he'd always be doing it while saying something really kind or just common, like just so that you like, you know, almost in a way that you would like. I could be totally off, and I'm sorry if I am, because we're actually getting to know each other, and there's a lot of similarities we have, some differences too, but some similarities, because he keeps talking about how lazy he is. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, well, this is strange, because first of all, his yard looks very well taken care of. I mean, his storage shed's a little messed up, but for the most part, he's on top of everything. So it's like, I don't know, you know, this laziness he keeps talking about. And then, but he's also always talking about how, like when he talks about not, you know, watching any movies or being on social media, and he reasons that to always having things to do. So if he always has things to do, how are you lazy? You know, so this is something I'm still investigating, but this is what he continues to tell me, is that he's lazy, you know. I asked him if he did any martial arts or anything like that, and he's like, no, I'm lazy. So, anyways, but this strange tiredness, exhaustion, whatever it may be, continued to happen. It continued to progress, and then it came to the point where I got home, and I actually initially crashed out a little bit before dinner, and then I woke up and had some dinner, and once I ate, I felt better, which was good. Maybe I was a little bit depleted nutritionally wise, because I did exercise the morning before and then went and go do a bunch of day labor. So I've been doing a lot of physical shit, but my body's pretty used to this stuff. So I don't know. I still don't know exactly what's going on. But anyways, strangely enough though, as I finished dinner and I had some chamomile tea, and I initially fell asleep. Maybe, well, I didn't even fall asleep really, but I didn't fall asleep. Like I was kind of tossing and turning the whole night until about 12:30, until I eventually decided just to wake up. And I stayed up I watched a movie, that new Life movie on Netflix. It was all right, you know. After I watched that, I went back to sleep. So then I just woke up like probably about an hour or so ago. But, you know, just getting out of bed was extremely challenging. So I don't know. I started thinking about maybe I should go to detox, because one of the things about this kratom is, unfortunately, it's got heavy metals in it. I don't know how. It's something to do with the soil, or it shouldn't though. It's a fucking plant. It should just have plant material in it. But the way we do things in this century or this time, a lot of stuff has heavy metals in it that it really shouldn't. So because of that, there's a possibility that I've been it's rather certainty that I'm perpetuating cancer inside my body. It says it on the bag that this product contains cancerous materials and it will harm your reproductive abilities. So it's telling me that. And I've been taking this substance for fucking like 5-6 years now. So it's possible that I'm getting to the point to where like the symptoms are really starting to manifest because of my kratom abuse. And probably kava. No, I'm sure kava is a very similar. I know kava is bad for your liver on its own, so the fact that it's also got heavy metals in it, if it does, is not good. So, you know, last night or early morning, around 3 or 4 in the morning, I'm starting to think about maybe it's time to try to find another detox place. You know, there's other rehab places I can call. I didn't call them all. So I'm thinking about doing that. Part of me feels like I'm having the same issue because it's kratom, but I'm, you know, it's like, fuck, I got to do something. Even if I have to go to the hospital, I'm thinking about doing it because I'm also just tired of, I really don't like how it gets in the way of me wanting to communicate with people, and it gets in the way of me wanting to have fun. I'm tired of like feeling, not knowing exactly, like, especially with what I'm doing with my life and saving the world, like it's coming to my mind that like I need to be, in order for things to be as successful as possible and for me to be able to help myself and others as much as possible, like the healthier I am, the better off I am. So if I'm constantly feeling like something's wrong with my health because of something that I'm taking, it's like, well, it's not fucking good, dude. That's like, it's not in alignment with higher vibrational living. So it behooves me to change my ways if I start to feel like it's a serious issue. And I'm starting to feel like it's an issue again. So it's like, okay, I got to start thinking about changing my ways. So anyways, that's going on. And then the whole time I'm thinking about, you know, this, you know, the other matter that I need to figure out, which I haven't yet. You know, I'm going to do some time to relax today and meditate and just think things over. I've gone back and forth, so it's like I just don't know right now, and I'm dealing with this weird energy thing. So it's like I need to just chill and get my head in space in a better, healthier place, and then once I'm there, I'll make a better, healthier, informed decision. So, all right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.